Hey guys, mad theories here. Now I know I covered that video about what if Broly was Kale's father and stuff, and that video did great. But now this is basically more like my second theory to that. Now even though like this is probably like gonna be like my last theory on the whole like Kale and Khalifa. Well, maybe not Khalifa, but Kale, just for Kale because it's like female Broly and stuff. But does anybody remember Broly's second coming when basically when they did the whole family Kamehameha and they blasted poor little Broly up into space, and that's when you seen his green cells flying everywhere. Now, even though this is a theory, like I said before, this is a theory. Now, what would have happened, right? Okay, now sure, in the whole Bio Broly, they managed to like make him again, but he was like a clone, and that was all types of messed up. Like I wouldn't even go into that territory, but what would have happened? Like I don't know. His cells, it was going off into space, and they could have went in a wormhole. It could have went somewhere else, and I'm just saying that I don't know that Universe 6. They ain't stupid, and there's probably some Saiyans. No, not Saiyans. There could have been some scientists over there said, hold up, what's this? Cells, what's this? Got a hold of his cells. Now you know where I'm going with this now. Now, what would have happened? What would have happened if Kale is actually a clone? Now, what if she's actually a clone of a dead Saiyan, which they can't mention because of copyrights and all that wonderful stuff. They can't mention that. But what would have happened if Kale is actually a clone of Broly? But they can't say it, they can't implement it because they say that, okay, this was like this very powerful Saiyan and whatnot. And he died and something happened and they actually took his cells and they made Kale. And the reason why Kale doesn't really have anybody is because she's actually a clone, so she doesn't have no mother, she has no father. Only person that she knows is Khalifa, because she said Khalifa is basically her prodigy and stuff. So I was like, like I was thinking about that, like she could have been a clone and stuff, and it would have made so much sense because it's like now. How she basically says like Son Goku, how when she was when she was like fighting Goku and she was saying like Son Goku, and how she doesn't really know his name is Kakarot, only Broly does. So it would have made sense for her to just be saying like Son Goku, like I want you dead, you took her away from me and stuff like that. How she was basically screaming and hollering when Khalifa just looked at her when she said, yo sis, yo, like, what about us? She looked at him, she looked at her, like, what you talking about? Like, me and him, we about to fight and train. I don't know about you. She said, sis. After for a while, she transformed, went all crazy and whatnot. So I was like, yo, like, I was like, yeah, like, there could have been some scientists and whatnot. Now, I mean, that's saying cells. I mean, again, like I said before, it could have went over. Universe 6 could have had it. Been like, yeah, there's some powerful Saiyan who died and whatnot. Got his DNA and whatnot, but they call him like they call him like the nameless Saiyan, not the mass Saiyan. That's a title for Brada, but he would be the nameless Saiyan. Yep, they'd be like, yeah, he was like the nameless Saiyan and whatnot. But they never recovered. Actually, his body was never recovered. Only but his cells. Like only his cells was recovered and whatnot, and then after for a while, that's when Kale was born. Kale was basically born, and then she was under probably like Khalifa's care and stuff, and she's like the only one that can go into that form because due to the fact that she's probably a clone. She is basically a clone, but her genetics actually because let's just say that when they was trying to remake the nameless Saiyan, it didn't work out. Like it just didn't work out. So they just said, screw it, let's just make him into a woman and stuff. So yeah, they made the nameless Saiyan into a woman, and after for a while, it was like yeah, that's when Kale was basically born and stuff, and she has like all this crazy amounts of abilities and powers and stuff. So I was like, yeah, that would have made like so much sense because it was like Broly's cells went like I said, like when in Bio Broly, like where his cells went to, like you seen it went somewhere, and then you had these clowns like, ooh, cells, let's make a clone, and after for a while, even the clone was powerful enough to freaking cause like so much damage and mayhem and destruction and whatnot. So I was like, yeah, it would make sense. Like somebody from Universe 6 scientists found the DNA and then remade it, and it was like boom. It was like boom, because it was like, yeah, like there's Kale and stuff. So it's like, it's just how her power was a lot different. It's like, well, she's a clone, and you know how sometimes it goes, even in games, movies, TV shows, animes, how the clone can sometimes be a better version of the copy of the original. Now, I know sometimes in movies and anime you would hear the original is always better than the copy, but in this case, because sometimes anime be breaking the logic and the laws of physics sometimes, she surpassed the clone. I'm sorry, she surpassed the original copy and whatnot, and she basically has like, again, broken amounts of abilities when it comes down to this what do they call it, berserk? They call it her berserk form and whatnot. Like, she goes into that, but we call it legendary Super Saiyan Kale. That's what we call it. We don't call it berserk because everybody know what this is and stuff. So we just call her legendary Super Saiyan Kale and whatnot. And yeah, she's basically legendary Super Saiyan Kale, and she doesn't know that her father basically tried to kill Goku twice. The first time it failed, and the second time he just got obliterated, but his cells was just leaking all throughout space. And yeah, she just doesn't know. She just doesn't know that secretly in her heart she does despise Goku, but she can't figure out the reason why. Only the reason she can come up with is because of her sister. But if it'd be funny, it'd be like, yeah, the nameless Saiyan and whatnot. And see, the problem with that would have been is what I just told you, because basically Goku would have remembered. Goku would have remembered, like, hold up, yo, you Broly daughter? The next thing you know, she was like, Broly? I don't know Broly and stuff. Or yeah, but I forgot they can't say Broly. But if Broly was canon, and all of this that I'm telling you, if it was canon, if all of this I'm telling you was canon and whatnot, and he would have been like, yo, you Broly's daughter. I'm like, oh, who Broly and stuff. And it's like, oh, let's not talk about this. But then again, Goku probably would have been like, oh, I defeated him, and then things would have been clicking and stuff, and like, yeah, Broly's basically the father and stuff, and then Kale, Khalifa probably would have been crying like, you were a clone and this and that. Would have drove her rage even insane and whatnot. She probably would have awakened legendary God Super Saiyan or something. If all of it was basically retcon, if all of what I'm telling you was basically retcon, I'm telling you, it would have been a sick story. It would have been a beautiful story and whatnot. Either if Broly was the father or she's a clone of Broly, but they made her into female and stuff. But unfortunately, this is not how it goes. And retcon, no Broly, no clones, no family. She just Kale. Kale, the legendary Super Saiyan. But yeah. If you like what you heard and heard what you like, please subscribe, share, all that wonders. I'll catch you later.